Thanks, Alive Thrive. Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm sorry if I mucked you around. It's quite bizarre because I went round in circles with this whole new setup, and now it's exactly the same as the old setup, so I'm not sure what that's about. Anyway, welcome. Big energies or recalibration or integration energies that we're feeling today. So yesterday, I've just got some notes from yesterday and today, and it's really massive today, and I've spent some time crying. It's really been this whole feeling of, oh my goodness, we are really coming home. So yesterday I was showing this triangulation in the heart centers. Hello, Dana. So showing triangulation in the heart centers, this alignment between the higher heart, and this is a green amethyst, this stone in here, and that's all about higher heart activation. So I thought it was a good day to wear it. So this alignment between the higher heart and heart chakra, and this is going to come into balance, and it shows up as a merging center. That's how I was watching it, what I was seeing. So it's what I believe is going to happen is the higher heart will now have an input into all decisions made for all of humanity. So even those people who are not awake, their higher heart is being activated. The higher heart holds the codes and the information around our soul purpose and mission. And so that is now going to start to be having input into the heart and input into decisions. So all matters of the heart are going to be impacted by everybody's soul mission and soul purpose, which is a pretty profound shift. So we will now all be living more profoundly from the heart, but guided by the higher heart or soul plate, our purpose and mission. And I'm showing that throughout the body, similar alignments are taking place. So I haven't tuned into the order of those, but this is going to happen throughout each of our chakra centers, this integration, this merging between the higher and lower aspect of each of those. And today I've got quite a lot of information from today. So of course today here, at least here in New Zealand, it's already the 22nd. So for some people it's probably the early hours of the morning of the 22nd, and maybe some are still on the 21st. But I wrote, the seal broken by the release of the news of the Queen's death, which you may have seen a video about that I did called 99, the 99. What is it? No, I won't look, but it starts with 99, and it's in that video. There's information about what I saw and the impact I saw the Queen's announcement having, and what I already knew about the Queen's passing. So this allowed a huge amount of darkness to be released from the planet, and gave us as a planet, which means us as humanity, this availability to receive greater light. So it created an opening for that to begin. So we watched about half of the darkness leave the planet, and then Gaia showed me that each day we would have some leave and some arrive. And so it's given this breaking of the seal, because that's what I saw it was like. It took this whole overlay. If you imagine this big thick blanket that was removed, but it was like the balloon pierced from the inside, and so that was this sort of whoosh effect that it created, and it now allows these higher codes and higher lights to enter the planet, and allows us to come into greater light and higher consciousness. There's just much more availability to us, that her role here, or whatever aspect of that it was, or that you believe was holding that down, holding us down. So each day we're going to release more density. So that's each of us individually. And a lot of us have done a lot of that work, but everybody is now able to release any density and come to healing and attending to wounding, memories, residue, through to the higher dimensional lifetimes that we've had that are related to the earth. So back through time and space, excuse me. So each day releasing more density and receiving more light. And so this applies, as always, to us as the micro and to the planetary body. So now we are able to access and integrate higher codes, higher dimensions, and higher frequencies. And so this means higher gifts as well. And for many, moving now from integrating or to integrating. So really going from 5th to 7th, and now being able to access our 12th dimensional aspects. So everyone will cycle through those as they are ready, but people are going to be given a bit of a push now because we're in acceleration. So these, integrating these 7th dimensional codes in our psychic gifts and talents, expertise, coming online to that level, and then beginning to do the same up to the 12th. So we're now, and this is exciting, we're now as a planet, as humanity, in process of coming into equilibrium, harmony and unity within self and within humanity. So remember, there are going to be a lot of beings who transition, and I did do a video about that a while ago, about all the various ways that people might have chosen to either leave or stay or return at this time. But everybody's souls has already decided, souls really, in my view, decided that before they came to the planet for this lifetime. Many will return as walk-ins. So all of this contributes to our be-earthing. The earth is birthing, as are we. We're birthing into our higher levels of consciousness. And so we'll do that in process, keep grounding, keep anchoring, be intentional, be mindful, be very aware of your thoughts, words, and actions at this time. I would say my challenge to myself is to come into, and I challenge you for this as well, to just come into greater impeccability with all of my thoughts, words, and actions, including those that I hold towards myself. So we're now coming into our greater power of, and our ability with, the creation codes and our ability to be in co-creation. And we can now use this to create this magnificent impact on the world. So let us be in constant co-creation with one another to anchor in our new higher dimensional, higher frequency, white diamond crystalline light into both body and planet. So we're able now to witness the dissolution in our three-dimensional world in a very obvious way. It's like, ta-da! It cannot be hidden. It's moving and shifting to being very clear and obvious. And so these are the shifts that I listed this morning. So we're moving from the hidden to the reveal, from the falsity to the truth, from surviving to thriving, lack to abundance, fear into love, individuality into collective, lower to higher, duality to unity, dissension and war into peace and harmony. And that reminds me of this conversation I had with my dad a number of years ago before he passed. And I was telling him about this imagery that I'd had, or this kind of dream that I'd had, where I was sitting on this hill next to Jesus, and I looked at Jesus and I said, "What is that?" And he said, "That is peace in the Middle East." And so I said to my father, "So I know that in my lifetime we're going to have peace." And that really moves me when I say that. And he said, "I don't think so. Not in my lifetime." He died young, so he was right. But we are going to have peace, everyone. So we will observe as we come home to self in many, many ways. In fact, in all ways. So we are coming home to self. And, this has really moved me this morning. I've done a bit of crying. So as those around us, encourage them to observe what is, but not what it is that they're showing on the news. There's going to be some fear-mongering, although we know that in the etheric realm that, the light has won. There's still a bit of scrapping going on, but it's really going to be showing up. And that will be like the final sort of turning of the sod, if you like. You've been having an emotional day too, Dana. Thank you for sharing that. So focus on the energies of what you want and on our coming either into readiness for ascension or as though we have already achieved it, and be holding on to that completion. The earth has ascended, humanity has ascended, and keep holding that vision. During this time, there may be memories and experiences that arise because, in a way, this release of that overlay and the piercing of the seal, it enables us to receive higher, but also to access deeper. So cellular memories and wounding and density that we've held in our cellular bodies back through time, space, and dimensions to those higher dimensions can now both come in as a gift and be released from the pain, the wound, the patterns. So we're in this big kind of final clear out through this. You could see it as a vortex, I suppose. With this, I was describing it to a client yesterday, how I see Gaia has sort of shown me. It's, if you imagine that we're under a shower rose, and so it's a gentle trickle, and in these big openings, in these big portals, what happens is that shower rose becomes like a needle shower. It's got a lot more impact and a lot more pressure. But right now we're in something that's more like being under a shower that's the size of a manhole cover, and it's streaming down. And if you imagine a whole lot of golden and white diamond crystalline stranding that's got some density, that's what the energies look like at the moment. Then coming down over everyone is under their own manhole cover. So you may be able to attend, heal, and integrate those just through quiet dialogue with yourself. Okay, body, what is that about? And what do you need? And how can I give it to you? But I do want to say to you that if you can't, then reach out to a healer and get some assistance, because it's really massive what we're going through. So you may find, as I did this morning, these tears arriving with, it's like this energy of release. And I was thinking, what did it remind me of? And it really reminded me of a time when my son was lost. Well, he wasn't, but I thought that he was. And I'm like, where is he? And he was only, I don't know, 2 or 3, and he wasn't, he didn't wander off, but I couldn't find him. And he was just in his own little world under the tree in the garden. And when I found him, and I'm calling out all the windows of the house, and when I found him, I burst into tears. And he said, Mama, why are you crying? And I said, oh, I'm just so happy to find you. I thought I'd lost you. And it's like that. It's that kind of, it reminded me of that. It brought up that kind of energy. It was like this energy, these tears of gratitude and relief, because we are finally really coming home to who we actually are, and we're able to finally, integrate to this higher aspect. So Gaia is saying we're in final cleansing, clearing, and purification, coupled with coming into and bringing in higher levels of consciousness as we open up to this new way of being, and to be mindful that the fear-mongering will come, and we need to be rising above it, not to get pulled into it, to get your seatbelts on, because this ship is about to accelerate, and you will feel this momentum a lot like being on a jet taking off from the runway. So this last week of September is going to be huge. All right. Wishing you a beautiful transition through this time, and feel free to let me know how you're going. It is going to be huge, and many of you will begin to see who you really are, and that's going to be exciting. All right. Bye. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Alive, Thrive, and Dana, and Al. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I got all goosey about that, your mama knowing the ascension was coming. Hi at the feed shed. They sneaked out, Carla, they sneaked out before the pandemic. Yeah, I tell you what, there are a lot of, you'll have to find it maybe you've seen it, but the video I did about various ways in which people would ascend, there are a lot of beings who are leaving at this time to come back. They've done what they came here to do, and they are going to come back in same body or new body. But yeah, lots of that. So it just feels all so close. And hi, Leah. Thank you. Love and gratitude to you too. All right. Yep, bring it on, I reckon. All right. So it might be a bit bumpy. You know how sometimes when you're on the runway and it's like things are a bit clattering. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. All right. Much love to you all. Thank you for joining me. Bye.